So the incredibly cold weather over the last few days, and you can see now all around me I see gas boilers burning, the vapor pouring out of them. Our gas heating is off at the moment. We're surviving on just the underfloor heating, etc. But it just shows the massive energy demands at this time of year. Through the summer months, even when you're putting in insulation, you tend to forget how cold it can be and how difficult it is to heat a house, especially a house like this, where that entire roof, which is quite complex at the front as well, has got nothing under it. There's not a scrap of insulation. If I look behind the plasterboard, and it's actually just wooden board, I can see the tiles, I can see light. So whatever we do, first thing obviously should be draft proofing. It's going to be very difficult to become energy independent in this house through the winter, very difficult indeed. We're going to continue working towards it. The panels yesterday, they produced about, one of them 200 watts, the others about 180 each, so giving us something but not a huge amount towards our energy use yesterday of 26 kilowatt hours. That's just electricity, very little gas used, to be honest. But anyway, this is a stark reminder of how difficult it is to do this. And I need to remember this in the summer when I'm working, and work harder to try and make sure that next winter we're not just surviving, that we're actually comfortable. Good morning. It's November the 21st. Just 1 month to go until the shortest day. I always look forward to that, to the days getting longer. As you can maybe see outside, it's another very frosty morning, unseasonably cold. It was -2 again last night. It says it's 1 degree out there now, but it doesn't appear to be, because nothing is melting as of yet. So I'm standing in my conservatory, which last year we wouldn't have been able to come into. It would have been closed off because of the terrible cold air coming in through the glass on the roof, etc. So I've done a lot of work on this, and at the moment, with 1 kilowatt going into the floor heating, electrical floor heating, it's 21.5 degrees out here. What I did notice yesterday, when the wind was blowing from the north, which is vaguely over here, it struggled, and it at one point dipped to 20.5 degrees. So I was checking why. Was it coming from the plastic? Was it coming through the glass, which is old double glazing? I haven't changed it. I do intend to change it. But what I discovered was it's coming around a gap, around the edge of the tiles, all the way around. You could feel the draft coming in. Now that must be having quite a big impact, because never mind insulation, the first thing to do is stop drafts. So this is one I've sort of not missed, but haven't considered seriously enough. And what I then discovered was that underneath there is an air brick to allow ventilation to run through into other parts of the house, important in an old Victorian house. However, but looking at the position of it, it seems to be ventilating almost straight under these tiles where the electrical floor heating is. So this must be incredibly inefficient in itself. Anyway, the floor will eventually be coming up, but at the moment, the only thing I can do is to seal around this edge and at least stop the draft. I can't do anything about the inefficiency, but I can do something about the draft. So that's one thing I can do today. The kitchen, which is right next to the conservatory there, is always about 2 degrees lower. Now, out of choice, we'll leave the door to the hall open because we do not like to be confined, but obviously we'll lose a lot of heat out of there. The underfloor heating here is not working. Through this room, this used to be a bathroom, but due to leaks and the fact that the whole roof was rotten, I had to strip it out. So what we're left with now, I have partially panelled. I put down insulation underneath, 170 mil. I put concrete on top. I insulated around the edges away from the walls, and you see I've insulated the roof. I put in a skylight. I put in, that's triple glazing here. So it's all quite a big improvement, but it's freezing cold in there because there's no heating, and that is also having an effect on the kitchen. You can feel the cold coming off this wall. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put, I've got underfloor heating in here, which will take a long time to warm up this big slab, which is probably a good thing. But actually it's only, I think, 150 watts. It's not going to make a huge difference, but by putting that on today, by wiring it in, it will have some effect and make this room a little bit warmer.